Ever wondered how the universal horror classics like Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman were made? And how can their techniques be applied to micro-budget filmmaking today? These films are not just timeless masterpieces, they are the bedrock of horror cinema, shaping the genre as we know it. The magic lies not just in their stories, but in the groundbreaking techniques used to bring them to life. Join us as we delve into the shadows of cinematic history. In the early 20th century, Universal Studios unleashed a new breed of cinematic nightmares. This was a time when the silver screen was painted with shadows and echoes of terror, giving birth to the universal horror classics. The chilling countenance of Dracula, the tortured soul of Frankenstein's monster, the primal ferocity of the Wolfman, each a stroke of genius that forever etched their haunting visages into the annals of cinematic history. These films were more than just flickering images of fear. They were the harbingers of a new era in storytelling, one that dared to delve into the macabre and the supernatural. They explored the human condition through the lens of horror, showcasing our deepest fears and darkest desires. And their influence immense and far-reaching. From modern-day blockbusters to indie flicks, their fingerprints are everywhere. These masterpieces laid the foundation for horror as we know it today, proving that true terror transcends time. But what made these films such enduring classics? It's not simply the monstrous characters that have haunted our dreams for decades, but the brilliant minds behind the camera that breathed life into these nightmares. The answer lies in the perfect storm of creative brilliance and innovative filmmaking that characterized the universal horror era. Each film was a masterclass in resourcefulness and imagination. The sets, though often limited, were meticulously designed to evoke an atmosphere of dread and unease. The towering castle of Dracula, the eerie laboratory of Frankenstein, the haunted woods of the Wolfman. Each location was a character in its own right, enhancing the chilling narratives. But it wasn't just the sets that set these films apart. The makeup and special effects, pioneering for their time, transformed actors into creatures that still send shivers down our spines. The monstrous visage of Frankenstein, the terrifying transformation of the Wolfman, the hypnotic gaze of Dracula. These images are etched into the annals of cinematic history, thanks to the extraordinary talent of the Universal Horror makeup team. And let's not forget the innovative camera work and lighting techniques that added to the eerie ambience. The shadows were as much a part of the story as the characters themselves, creating a sense of foreboding that kept audiences on the edge of their seats. These techniques combined to create an unforgettable aura of terror. The Universal Horror classics, crafted with limited resources but unlimited creativity, a testament to the power of innovative filmmaking. Now, how can we capture this timeless magic in a micro-budget production? This is a question many budding filmmakers ask when they are inspired by the Universal Horror classics. But what if I told you that the answer lies not in the grandeur of Hollywood budgets, but rather in the creative vision of the filmmaker? Just like the Universal Horror team, the key is to make the most of what you have. It's about using your resources wisely and creatively. Remember, the eerie atmosphere of Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman wasn't born out of huge budgets, but rather from a masterful understanding of suspense and the power of the unseen. Today, micro-budget filmmakers are channeling this spirit, using innovative techniques to create horror that resonates with audiences. They are crafting their own cinematic nightmares, not with high-end equipment or lavish sets, but with resourcefulness and a deep understanding of what truly terrifies us. They are proving that it's possible to evoke the same chilling atmosphere with a fraction of the resources. Whether it's using practical effects, clever lighting, or resourceful set design, these filmmakers are pushing the boundaries of what's possible on a micro-budget. In the end, it's not about how much money you have, it's about how you use what you've got to tell a compelling story. So remember, the essence of Universal Horror isn't about big budgets, it's about big ideas. With the right approach, a micro-budget film can evoke the same chilling atmosphere. So, where do you start with creating your own horror masterpiece on a shoestring budget? First off, practical effects are your best friend. From DIY blood recipes to crafting your own prosthetics, the possibilities are endless. These effects not only save money but also add a touch of authenticity that CGI often lacks. Next up is lighting. The right lighting can turn an ordinary room into a hauntingly atmospheric scene. Don't be afraid to play with shadows, experiment with different light sources, or even use colored filters to create an eerie mood. Now consider your set design. It's not about having grandiose sets, but rather how you utilize your space. A well-placed prop or an interesting angle can make a world of difference. Finally, remember that sound design is crucial. The right soundtrack or sound effect can send chills down the spine of your audience. Embrace your limitations and let your creativity thrive. As we conclude our journey, remember the timeless magic of universal horror. Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman have left an indelible mark on cinematic history. They've inspired countless filmmakers to channel their essence, even on micro-budgets. The key is creativity, resourcefulness, and a nod to the masters of yesteryears. As we step back into the light, let's carry with us the lessons from these classics. The legacy of universal horror lives on, proving that terror knows no budgetary boundaries.